People are pissed at Disney for the new Moana costume that's just in time. It's been released just in time for Halloween. According to Gizmodo, it says here, that doesn't mean children shouldn't dress as characters that are different ethnicities, but typically changing your skin color to do so is considered inappropriate. Some have pointed out that the costume can be viewed as something more for children of color, which is understandable, but there's also the issue of cultural identity. Some have criticized the costume for turning centuries of the Pacific Islander culture into just a cartoon. So many people saying that if you look at the costume, you see that the sleeves with the tattoos have a more brown color, as opposed to like if it was sheer sleeves. So people taking issue with that and saying that just because the sleeves and the bottom part with the tattoos is brown, they're still calling it brownface. They're saying not only do you not have to paint your face to still be inappropriate and portray brownface, but they're also saying that what happens if the kids are wearing it and then they want to match like a white child wants to match their face to their body, will they then be painting their face with brownface? So we'll dive into it, but first, thoughts, 5 words or less.
The movie isn't out yet.
Speculative Halloween costumes. It's fall.
Trick or treat or racism.
Who am I to say? I'm not Polynesian.
I mean, that's kind of our job, though.
Right? No, we can have an opinion, and that's my opinion. Okay. I always have an opinion, do I not? In this story, I don't feel right, given that I don't have this cultural history. I can't say if someone's being insensitive or not.
Let me do that for you then.
Okay.
I think it's ridiculous that we're getting upset at this.
But you don't have the culture. That's okay if you have that.
But
opinion,
I do, because like I look at it as from a Middle Eastern perspective. Like when I see someone wearing a fez or like an Aladdin costume, I'm never like, I can't believe this depiction of how Middle Eastern people are supposed to look like. Like, what are they doing? Even if they put a little bit of brown face on.
What if it's, wait, you do believe that? You do?
No, I don't. I think it's, like I don't think it's inappropriate at all. And as a further point, I think it's good because this culture of inclusion is what led me to be so Americanized and understand American values and assimilate very easily. And I think that with this inclusion, we will understand more about the Polynesian culture that we might not have necessarily knew.
But people don't think a large portion of the group of people that are coming from all these different cultural. No, it's like it's a few key groups that represent the Pacific Islander culture that are commenting, and of course people individually as well, but they're saying that this is appropriating their culture to the point where you're just boiling it down to this costume.
Isn't the movie Brave and Frozen? Like, specifically Brave. Did the Irish get pissed off when Brave was like, wait a minute, we don't turn people into bears? The movie Brave, people get turned into bears, where the Irish people like, you're giving a comic look at our red hair.
Why aren't you doing the accent is the real
Why
question.
are you making us look so ridiculous?
Beast Jedi!
I think this would have been such an easy problem to avoid if they had just made the costume sheer.
I agree.
And I think that I just in general, I think any sort of costumes like that, the bodysuits that come with like a preconceived skin color, genuinely look stupid to begin with. So they would have saved a lot of trouble if they just made it sheer.
Unless it's the Hulk.
Yeah, unless it's the Hulk, and
Green
even then
face.
you have your little, in my case, pale Cornish hands poking through. In any case, anyway, but
Yes.
so I don't know. It's shocking to me that this stuff still comes up because come on, Disney, there's like a team of people working there. You should have thought it through. What I was interested to learn about, and I kind of defer to your opinion as well, Sam, where it's like, who the fuck am I to say if people are allowed to get offended at this? Is the tribal tattoos. People are saying that is also cultural appropriation. So then I'm thinking, a little bit to the side of Hasan, what are they supposed to do if they want to dress up as their favorite Disney character? But then I'm also thinking, how is this their favorite Disney character because the movie isn't released yet?
Right.
I mean,
so
but
maybe postpone these costumes
I know,
until
it does
after
look
the movie
super
release
cool.
and
You're telling me it's
workshop
not
it
gonna be a
more.
huge
And
movie.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson already teased it on his Instagram, and I watched the whole
maybe
video, and it looked awesome.
instead of maybe rushing these costumes into production for a movie that isn't going to be released by Halloween, maybe you should, sit together in a team, bring in some people from these communities, and be like, all right, we want to make a costume of this character. How should we do it? Instead of some asshole being like, all right, here the fuck, let's try it this way.
Disney, in a movie, when they were creating a movie about Polynesian culture, like island culture, they they didn't hire anyone from that
for the
culture. I'm sure they.
costumes, I
Grace
don't
is
know.
pointing out,
sure
like,
they did.
yeah, it seems like people are going to have a reaction to a skin-altering.
Yeah, and the guy who
situation.
probably
I
made the
don't know
costume
if
was like, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, but there's so many levels, especially with Disney.
so many levels.
Yeah, Disney.
It's not
Disney
like
has
a guy.
so
It's
much
not
you
one
can't
guy that
do.
was like, "This looks okay to me."
There
This
is
was a team.
comical amount of shit you can't put in a video. Speaking from experience.
Yeah.
You can't, when producing something for a Disney-owned entity, there's so much hilarious shit they won't allow. It's hilarious. It's so good.
Can you tell us one of them?
You can't show
Nipple?
monkeys,
Are you crazy?
primates.
Why?
Why? 'Cause
primates.
Evolution.
Because
Why?
they have
You can't
genitals.
have just because there was a certain situation in the past that loaned it, so there are, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it is you can only show animals if they're in their native environment. You can't show like an elephant that's your pet. But just stay the fuck away from orangutans, please, is essentially the policy.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well,
Why, 'cause they're
please keep
humanoid?
the conversation going, and we'll see you next time on Pop Culture.